This is Black Comedy here. Today
I will be doing my best horror films of all time video. This video will be the top 50 horror movies of all time. As this video is coming out on the 31st of October 2020, I want to say happy Halloween to everyone, and to keep safe this year, as there ain't gonna be no psycho killers on the loose, but there is a deadly virus. So yeah, Halloween's gonna be fun this year. But getting into the presentation video, whatever you want to call it, I'm going to start off right now. I just want to say that the films which I mentioned here, top 50, I've done them by order as well. These are my opinion. I have asked a couple of other people, friends or family mostly, on their opinions on it, to try and piece it together more accurately to what everyone would think. But there's certain films where I'd go, I'm going to name, for example, The Exorcist. Like, a lot of people from, like, in there, like, let's just say 40s, 50s, maybe slightly older than that, would all go with The Exorcist #1. Younger people, say 20s, probably go for a newer film. I'd probably go Halloween. Trick's pretty good actually. I reckon a lot of people haven't watched it yet, but it's actually a very good movie. So yeah, it's a very hard one to do. I've seen other people's lists of the top 50 horror movies, and it's always The Exorcist #1, always The Exorcist. So I've decided that my video is going to be like an updated version of the list, like 2020, whereas I'm not going to do it by quality, because that's unfair. Obviously the newest films are going to be better quality than the old ones, aren't they? But the newer films take the stories from the old films to piece together their own, so I've also taken that in mind whenever choosing, and I've gone, okay, but that film wouldn't be that without this film, so that film belongs with that one, yeah, for example. So I've tried to go by more like story. I haven't gone by popularity. I don't like going by popularity where everyone goes The Exorcist #1. Is it really the best one, or is it just renowned as the best one because a lot of people say it is, and because lots of people say it is, lots of other people just agree with it? Because one, as we all know, once something's big, it becomes bigger, doesn't it? So people always go with the most popular vote, don't they? So I've decided to do my own opinion on it, so that I can say, well, this is what I think this is, because I find the stories better. Everyone's got their own opinions. A lot of people might agree or disagree with my list, because everyone's got their own opinions. So no chance in hell can this ever be 100% correct, but this is just my telling of what I think the top 50 horror movies of all time would be, in my opinion. Now let's get into the video. I've already talked for like 5 minutes, guys. Let's hope that you're still watching, or at least you've skipped forward so that you're still watching. So now let's get into it. My #1 horror movie of all time has to be Halloween. Yeah, just got to be on it. Michael Myers going after what was her name? Judy is it? No, I don't know. No, we all know who it is. You all know who I'm talking about. I can't remember. Jamie Lee Curtis. And of course he's trying to kill her, isn't he? This is the 1978 version specific, which I think was the best one. But whenever I'm talking about these movies, I'm going to go by an overall genre. So if I'm saying Halloween, I'm basing it on all the Halloween movies, including the new ones. It ain't going to bring it down, because if there's one good movie, that's going to bring it up. But I'm just saying as an overall. I don't want to go Halloween #1, Halloween 2 #2, Halloween 3 #3, for example. I don't want to do that. That would just like, it wouldn't give the spotlight to other horror movies. So Halloween #1. The trick is to stay alive. Easier said than done, guys. The night he came home, Halloween, October the 31st. And now the next one on my list, Friday the 13th. Arguable one, this one. Anyone, does it belong in second place? A lot of people could argue otherwise, a lot of people might agree. I think this one belongs in second place. It's a simplistic storyline, very simple. Camp Crystal Lake, there's also other locations, other films, but we all know the main one is Camp Crystal Lake. The killer, Jason Voorhees, goes after all the campmates, or whatever you want to call them, all the people there who are on vacation, because they tried to drown him whenever he was, how long is a little boy, whenever he was younger, really. When his mother tries to kill them. I think that's the first movie, very first ever Friday the 13th. His mother's actually the one who's trying to kill them all, but they just actually kill his mother, and then Jason Voorhees comes haunting, doesn't it? So simplistic storyline, but works like a charm, doesn't it? Great film, absolutely fantastic film. I think it is. The whole entire series actually is really good. I do think that if you were to watch one of the older films now, quality wise you might cringe because it's quite fuzzy because it's old, but story wise I think it's very good. I wish that they would bring out a new Friday the 13th movie. I know if they brought out a new one a few years ago, I think like 10 years ago now actually, but it just wasn't Friday the 13th really, in my opinion. It wasn't very good. It was rubbish, man, really. So I wish that they would just remaster the series. I'm not going to say remake it, I'm going to say remaster it. I want them to pretty much follow the same film. Please don't change anything. Just try and remaster it. Make it newer. Make it look visually better. And I think it'll be really good. And also the game Friday the 13th. A big shame because they got sued. They sued over the game, didn't they? So I wish someone could like do something about it. Possibly, surely a big game company could like buy over the game and then possibly try and buy the rights from the person who sued them to be able to continue making the game. Easier said than done, of course. Plenty of stuff, and shows all sorts of law stuff on there. I'm not gonna go into that, guys. I'm just saying I wish I could do something about it. It's very good. The number 3 on my list is Saw. Every piece has its puzzle. Game over. Excellent film. Story is just amazing. I think I'll put this in number 3 because of how it's put together. The story of it is incredibly well thought out. Each and every trap, it's like, it's not like they just made up a crappy trap. It's like they thought about in detail. And they actually just thought about in detail. They thought about how it's gonna work, and it's just really good. So I think the film belongs in 3rd place. A lot of people might argue otherwise on this game, but I'm gonna say that for every single movie. But yeah, because of how well it's put together, I think it deserves 3rd place. Also, the series of them, there's about 7 or 8 of them. There's 7 or 8. We've also got the new film Jigsaw, came out in 2017 or 2018, not sure. But that was actually quite a good film as well. But yeah, I think the Saw films were just really good. Who's the killer? Zed, I think Zed, isn't it? Zed, him. Number 4, Scream. This belongs number 4. Nothing should go above this. I know people might argue Nightmare on Elm Street, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, maybe Exorcist, Psycho, or other films like that, but Scream goes here. I know there's so far any really named slasher films. I don't think Saw is a slasher, it's more of a psychological horror in it really. But slasher, Scream, it just belongs there. It's just a story of it, once again very well thought out. the killer scream. The one scene which I always remember is the phone one, where she answers the phone. He starts asking her the questions. Excellent. Excellent. They also made a series on Netflix actually on Scream, which I thought was very good as well. So yeah, that is why I put it here, because I just think it's so iconic. It's an iconic series in film. The films come first, of course, so we're going to go on the films. It's just such an iconic films, really. And I couldn't name you a bad Scream film either. I think they're all very good in their own right, in their own way. And also the thing about it is that you got to guess the killer. So it's psychological in that way. And you think you know who it is, but then it could shock you. It could be the most just unknown character, really. Every show the character wants to try, never see him again. It could be that character, and it'd be completely different who you think it is. And that is like the shock element to it, so it's very good. Now number 5 is A Nightmare on Elm Street. Now I couldn't exactly put this one out of the top 5. Nightmare on Elm Street belongs here. It's just such a... It's a story to it, isn't it, really? The story to the films. It's just like a bit... You always think it's sick, don't you, really? But that's what makes the film, isn't it? That's what makes it so intriguing to people to watch. Is it's Freddy Krueger. And he's basically in their dreams, isn't he? And he starts coming after them in dreams. So if they fall asleep, he's going to kill them in their dreams, so they can't go to sleep. But of course, in the end, you've always got to get to sleep, don't you? So he kills them in their dreams, and that it's like the psychological element. So very, very good films in my opinion. I watched the newest one actually. We have on Netflix. 2018, I think it was. 2020, I don't think. It could be 2019. I know, it's over the last couple of years. Over the last couple of years it came out. It was actually a very good film, I thought. It was A Nightmare on Elm Street. It was just called, I think. And yeah, very good film. The old film score is very good as well. And also the hand with the spikes. Is it spikes or is it blades? I think it's hand with blades on it. It's freaky, innit? So yeah, very good. Next one, The Exorcist is in number 6. I had to put The Exorcist in the top 10. It's not personally one of my kind of movies. Not really a fan of them kind of movies. Could be why I put it down number 6. I'm not really a fan of them, but you got to put in top 10 because story-wise it is very good, and it was the first of its kind. Where it's basically like the honestly Conjuring, but it's really like, yeah, Conjuring in a way. The Annabelles, the films that I've had today, they all came about because of this movie, The Exorcist. But back when it came out in the 60s, I think it was 60s. People literally just like have heart attacks in cinema and stuff, don't they? And, like, just they name it super scary. But like if you watch it today, you just go, and what was so scary about it? But back then, because it was like the first of its kind, people weren't used to it. It was different, so it was that had the element to it of, wow, I can't believe it, like that. And of course, people don't like what they don't know, and because they'd never experienced anything like this before, it had that to it. But as I said, now, if you compare it to other films, it wouldn't be anywhere near as scary as other films. But it's because of when it came out, so I had to put in top 10 because of that. Because this is an updated list, I didn't want to put it down as number 1. The number 1 you go, right, this one belongs, it was its first of its kind, yeah. But because this is an updated list, I didn't want to go by that. I wanted to go by a story by which is actually the best movies now, 2020. Looking at all the films, which ones, if you were to go and watch a film this year, right now, what would you watch? You wouldn't really want to watch a really old one because it's like it'd be a bit. But I want to put this one down because it's first of its kind, so I did make sure to put this one down number 6. It's just after the top 5. Because I think it'd still be quite a good film to watch, but as I said, it's, you can say it's outdated, but I did say at the start I'm not going by quality of the film, sorry. I'm going by the story. So story-wise, it is very good, but I think the stories would be better today. But they've been based on this film. That's the reason why I've put it before the Annabelle. You know what? I haven't put Annabelle on this list. I just remembered. I completely forgot about Annabelle. Oh, guys. How did I forget about Annabelle? Well, because I haven't put it on the list, I'm just going to say right now, if you are going to watch some horror movies based on this list, put Annabelle down there with it as well. Annabelle on there, man. Next, It. Not personally a film for me either, not this kind of one. I prefer a film called The Clown, or just Clown on Netflix. Excellent film, really. Just a clown, he's very scary looking. Horrific it is. So yeah, I recommend giving that a watch. It's going to be on this list actually. But It I had to put up here because it's very iconic once again, really. The first ever It movie, pretty much same with The Exorcist, gave people big scares in the cinema and stuff, so stuff like that. But even the new films in 2019, I think, no, it wasn't 2019, was it? 2018 or 17? 2018, I think. The first ever It come to the cinema in 2018, the new remastered version, pretty much, the new version of it. I didn't really like it. Wasn't for me. I didn't really like how it felt a little bit childish in a way. Now, I know it's supposed to be a horror, but that was what really ruined it for me, really. I found it was a bit childish with all child stuff in there, so that's what wasn't for me in it. But a lot of people found it very scary today, really. But in all fairness, whenever I talk about scary movies, I'm not really one of them people who watch a movie and get scared. Like, I could watch any movie and I wouldn't get scared, to be honest with you. I don't think any movies just scare me or anything. That's the reason why I like psychological horrors the most, because it's just that it kind of messes with your mind, whereas it doesn't really scare me, but it intrigues me and what's going to happen. It intrigues me, so I find that I got that element. And the slasher movies, it's just good on me. Friday the 13th is actually one of my favourites because of the game. Excellent game. If you haven't played the game, definitely recommend right now. But It, a lot of people do really like it. I find it very scary without the clowns, but I think it's supposed to kill clowns, isn't it? No one likes a flipping clown, do they? You see a clown, you're like, no. Oh, I hate circuses, I do, guys. I really actually don't like clowns. Like, I'm not terrified of them, I just don't like them. I mean, one tried to get me to go on stage. I wasn't having none of it. So yeah, so clowns, like, it is creepy. And next one, ooh, what number are we on? Exorcist number 6, number 7, and number 8 then. Child is playing number 8. Charles played Chucky. Can't forget about good old Chucky, can we? 1980s or 90s, I think it was early 90s, I'm not sure, could have been 80s. But whenever this film first came out, it was actually a 12. It had a lot of controversy because a lot of adults, parents, didn't really like their children watching it because it was so scary. It was scary, and it was like kind of messed up in around it. A messed up film, really, with Charles Teddy and it, just like evil, just trying to kill them all. It's a funny movie. But yeah, because it was a 12, I had a lot of controversy and actually got taken out of the cinemas and off the films and stuff for a while. I think it was banned for a good few months, or even up to a couple of years, until they finally brought it back out. But it was put up in classification from 12 to an 18, I think. 15 a very minimum, I think it was an 18. So yeah, very good movies. Personally, I find it funny. I love having a good laugh at them. They're quite funny. Some people might find them scary, but good horror movies to watch. It's funny to kill a Teddy Chucky. He's actually a very good man. Giles Play is a film name.